Justin Ellis here with complegends.com, and we've got another weekly challenge for you, number 22 of the season. This one is great for those that are at home, maybe limited equipment. Hopefully, maybe you got a vest or something you can carry with you in this one to up the challenge a little bit. But let's dive into the pieces of
4
the
rounds for
workout.
time, quarter of a mile run, 10 push-ups, 15 sit-ups, 25 air squats, performed with a vest if you have one 2014.
Yeah. All right, so short and sweet and simple, but we'll get to the point. And I think if you've been doing CrossFit or challenging fitness workouts for a while, this one is a little reminiscent of Murph. I'm not comparing it to the intensity overall, and it shouldn't be comparable to the time. But like I said, it's going to have that body weight. If you have the vest, that's going to throw in a little of that same factor in, and the running, of course, too. So let's look at the standards here. Quarter mile run for those that can. Maybe they're at a track, but of course, if you're at home, titled Home Alone, using maybe an app on your phone or your watch, I think will do the job here to get that quarter mile. If you want to translate that into meters, that'd be 400 meters of that 1600. 10 push-ups. Standards here are going to be, we want chest to deck, and if you're using a vest, that's going to make sure that's touching the ground there once you get to the push-ups, and of course full extension to the top. 15 sit-ups. Now, a lot of CrossFit gyms are going to do ab mat sit-ups, and that's great if you have one of those. But again, if you don't, you might use a towel or some sort of support behind you, maybe a rolled up yoga mat. But ultimately, we want, what I'm going to say here is touch the ground behind your head and then touch your heels. So we're in that butterfly position down by your feet. And then 25 air squats. Of course, we're going to look for that full depth on the squat and full extension at the top. So, as always, we're going to get into the tips and tricks, of course. But follow us on the YouTube channel at Comp Legends. You can go to the website, complegends.com, and check out the blog. So you want a little written form there. There's maybe a couple different nuggets in there that I might not even hit in here. And if you just want to catch these and listen to them on the road, you can check out any place that you listen to your podcasts and check out Comp Legends there as well. Of course, we're still working on the app, building that, and hopefully, get to the website and sign up now for free to get your account started, and once we have all the features, you'll be first in line to get it. So with that being said, let's take a look here, and we're actually going to be at complegends.com, the website, and the blog here, weekly challenge number 22, and talking about some of the tips and tricks and strategies for this one. So if, depending on the athlete, as always, we want to be able to work towards our strengths and a little bit away from our weaknesses. We don't have a partner in this one like we did last week, but I think I'm really middle of the ground. I can do pretty much all the features. I don't really have one thing that is probably a huge highlight for me, but I don't think I'm really terribly weak at anything either. So not a great runner. I don't think a lot of CrossFitters just are biting at the bit to run. So a quarter mile though keeps us in a range that should not be too scary. 400 meters in a workout 4 times. If I'm going to do this calculated on a pace, I'm using the app or my watch, some sort of tracking device. Let's say you're an 8-minute mile guy or girl. That's not terribly fast, but it's not terribly slow either. I think you're right there in the middle. I'm going to try to run these 400s more on the scale of something like 7-minute pace. So I'm not trying to blow it out the water, but obviously if I'm only having to run 400 meters at a time or that quarter mile, it needs to be increased tempo from what you would run that mile time in. So 4 rounds, do I need to come out sprinting out of the gate? I don't know. I don't think that's the way we want to go with that. Okay, so on the quarter mile, at each round, would I love to increase that pace or tempo over the duration of the workout? Potentially, but just be careful, be wary of that run. We come in off the run, maybe you're at your garage or your driveway, or maybe you are at a park with the laps, and you're going to come in at 10 push-ups. And overall, 40 push-ups in this workout. Like I said, this is like a version of a mini Murph, if at best. And 10 push-ups at a time for 4 rounds, I don't think it's too scary. I always state, don't sleep on the push-ups. especially when they're in that 15 to 20 to 20 plus range. But I think at 10, don't be scared to necessarily, do a 5 with a very short break. But the only reason I would do that is because you push the run tempo a little bit and you're not catching your breath just yet. You got to come off the run and get straight to the floor to do the push-ups. And I think that's great. But that's kind of almost suffocating a little bit because you're running when you open up that chest. I don't want to waste a whole lot of time standing there to try to catch my breath, but if I can get down there and start the push-ups, if I need to do 5 and get invested, come up to my knees and let my arms hang and take another, 2 to 3 seconds and then get those next 5, it's probably not going to be because of the push-ups, but because of the breathing tempo. So don't be afraid to necessarily take a short break there in between, but get invested as soon as you come off the run. That moves us into the 15 sit-ups. You're basically just going to flip over like a pancake and move into now what we're on our back doing those sit-ups. And of course we want to keep to the standard, but this is going to be a little bit easier place to probably breathe. Keep in mind, if you have a vest, it's always going to be a little restricted in comparison to without a vest, but be ready to just get straight into these sit-ups, touching the ground, touching the floor. I don't think there's a ton of rest there, but again, if we get to something like 7 or 8 reps and we need to just open up that breathing, get to the back side of this sit-up, lay back, put your hands over your head and get you a 2 to 3 count and then get right back into it. But I think, again, the volume of the 15 sit-ups, even over the 4 rounds, the 60 total reps, there's not a whole lot to worry here, and it should be sprint. The run, a little faster than a mile effort, tempo, but on the movement so far, we're definitely talking about sprint effort. We move into the 25 air squats, the final movement of the round, and this will be the hardest part, and especially in the transition from the squats to the run. Inevitably, right? You're going to get those legs burning just a little bit. Especially, you got that vest on, a little extra weight, you're doing the squats right, and you're going to go into the second run. I think that the second and third rounds, even going into the fourth round, you're going to have to plan that out a little bit. So I always like a good squat to be very much like a metronome. So, hit that second down, hit that second up. I'm not really trying to sprint in between these. I don't want to slow down and I don't want to stop. I think this one you can be consistent through the 25, but I definitely don't want to get caught braking, and I don't want to get caught going too fast because then that might sacrifice my tempo on the run. And I think the run, if you look at all the movements, a 400-meter run can easily be 2+ to 3 minutes long for some folks, and that's going to eat up more time than any one of these movements individually. So if that tempo of the squats is just a little bit slower than what you think you could sprint, what are you losing? You're losing a couple seconds. If that affects the run, now you're talking about maybe losing 20, 30, or 40 seconds per round because you lost that tempo and that pacing. So just be wary of those squats, knowing you're about to go into, using those legs and striding it out. I still don't think they're scary to where that metronome pace can be a little bit aggressive, but if you have to make it to like a comfortable aggressive, be fine with that. And of course, with all these strategies through the first 3 rounds, really can change you can completely change that strategy there in the 4th round and just say, here we go, it's time to finish. You don't have to finish with a run. Now you can talk about those air squats at a lot faster pace than what you did those first 3 rounds. So I think there's, of course, if you're really strong at all body weight movements, even with a vest, I think it's an opportunity to really blow out, whatever energy you got early and often throughout this whole thing. So that's this week's challenge, Home Alone. A little bit different than most of the challenges we've done so far, being that really in a gym, and this one being at home, and it's body weight stuff. But nonetheless, it's part of fitness, and it's definitely a big challenge in the CrossFit. Typically, is that body weight stuff. So not close to doing Murph yet, but we see it in CrossFit and fitness challenges all the time. As always, guys, check us out. If you're not watching the video right now and you're just listening to us on a podcast, you can check us out on YouTube at Comp Legends, and we have video content of this, not just the podcast too. We will be hitting a lot of the big mainstream competitions and diving into some tips and strategies, and we love highlighting a lot of the athletes too. So if you post any videos of the workout, For me as a coach, that's a great place to find and see different people move on the workouts of all levels, ages, and skill levels. So post your videos on YouTube, tag us in it at Comp Legends, and so we can even review it and help those and just have fun with doing workouts. So just get on to Comp Legends there, the Premier Fitness League online. Like, subscribe, and follow for more information. Now we're going to end this this video here in this podcast with our product review, and I felt like it was definitely worth diving into a kind of a home product, and I found this one through, what is this, QVC.com. It's called the Fit Cube, and there's a little video we're going to be playing through this, but I should start off by saying this is not a review as far as hands-on. This is what most people nowadays are reviewing products, is just online. You see it through your feed. You see it on, as you're searching, and you kind of got to make an assessment right out the gate. So just dealing with a lot of different fitness products and equipment myself, and with a lot of different clients, my review is not the end all be all by any means, but definitely like diving into this. So we've seen a lot of different products. So I'm just going to have this playing in the background here, and you can kind of get a visual if you're on the channel. But what this is a compact multi-gym. It's by a company called New Image. Of course, CVS is always throwing these deals and whatnot, but it looks like at some point they had it for $180, but it looks on average about $236. If you're out of a CrossFit gym or a functional fitness gym, it's a really, really tiny metal constructed box, not for like jumping, but she's now seated on it it has a pad. And I'm guessing to make it more comfortable whenever paddling your feet, as she's doing there. Now this lady here is probably 50s, maybe close to her 60s. I haven't seen anything real intense. Okay, she just flipped it over to another side. So each side looks like it has something a little different. And if you're watching here, some pedals in there with some bands, some handles. It does have some visual aid on the side of this box here. Okay, now, whoa, turns into like a climber with bands at your hands. So essentially she's pumping those calves. It looks like it looks like one of those ellipticals, or not ellipticals, one of those stair climbers at like your fitness gym. A little underwhelming so far. Guys, as always too, if you can comment what you think below, and maybe if you've tried this or used it, we'd love to hear from those folks. And this is the first time I'm ever watching this video and reviewing it, so I'm right there with you if this is your first time. So far, in the realm that I'm in a CrossFit gym and in a barbell gym, this is not something at all we would use in the gym. Now, there's elements, right? The bands that they're using right now, love that for a lot of different warm-up pieces and a lot of rehabilitation pieces or workouts to when she's kind of hitting those shoulders, and we definitely do some stuff like that. But this is all connected. Now she's back to the seated pad. Yeah, so okay, I'm getting the gist that this is that sit and be fit concept. And look, so they do have kind of a jumping and standing side. I'm never against anything. If it gets you going, let's say you are completely stagnant, stationary, and not in fitness at all. If this $240 product is what gets you into the realm, because, the one good thing that I will say with group training, and it's specifically CrossFit, but even barbell clubs I've seen in these powerlifting gyms and stuff like that, you have instructors that are constantly evolving the training. So you're going through cycles, you're starting them, you're stopping them, you're changing it up, the elements. Doesn't matter what product you really buy, you better have a game plan or someone that's going to give you that game plan. So I feel like these are always really decent starter projects. But in the end, it doesn't come with a trainer. And maybe they do come with later on attachments and adjustments. But if they don't, at some point, you're going to have to continue to evolve yourself, right? You're going to master this product. and become in better health and shape. And I just don't. You almost make this on a go. Maybe you're like a camper or something like that, and you take this with you. They are showing some more intense movements, but I'm gonna be a little biased here, but let's look at some other things here. They do have guides, exercise charts. Another thing that was real big and has been big, and again, I thought it was a pretty good piece of equipment, was a TRX system. We had another gym, Elevate, that was group training, not CrossFit specifically, but physical fitness, and we use the TRX systems along with other things. I don't. Maybe you could outfit a gym with all these, but at the same time, I could buy a barbell for $240 and do a lot of stuff with it that I feel as if is very functional. Step for cardio, grip for strength, twist for core, jump for power. Because it's on QVC, I'm not really seeing like their mantra. And like I said, this is on QVC, the Fit Cube by New Image. And I think you dive in, I'm just assuming, but I think we're diving into a company that probably has their hands in a lot of different things. Oh, here we go. Here's some reviews, and not very good ones here. First one, I received the product and I couldn't lift it or move it. I'm 74, and I had to get it returned. And I think that's where they're appealing to. So being too heavy for your market might not be very good. Pretty long one. It's heavy. This is another thing they're saying. Again, it's heavy, indicated by that 2-star review. There's another 1-star review. If you have excellent balance and get on and off the cube, good, but because they were beginner, they don't have the balance there. So oddly enough, it looks like you almost need a little more advancement for something to me that seems very beginner-ish. Very a product that you would start with. But then we've got some 5-star reviews for sure. Totally love the equipment. There's many benefits to having this fitness equipment at home. Work out at your own pace, time, and style. This home gym is full body workout machine, and it is compact for someone. It is very compact. It is for being as many different things as it can be. It is very compact. Ultimately, you could store that off to the side very easily, probably even in your living room, and no one would know the better. So overall, they have a rating on their site, 4.7, or at least at QVC.com. And if I was to say 1 out of 5, man, if it gets you started, it's a 5. If you're already going, maybe you're even at a home workout kind of person, and you're already getting going. I think it's like a 1 or 2. It's just maybe another piece of equipment. I don't think it's your end-all, be-all piece of equipment, but that's okay. That's okay. So, product review again. The Fit Cube, and again, if you've done it, you've used it, let us know. I'd love to hear somebody that's actually put their hands on it. This is completely just a online review based on the website, based on where they're selling the product there at QVC.com. Well, as always, we're going to end up this episode with Home Alone, and let us know what you did, how you did, what you think, and what we should have done differently. Post it here or the website at complegends.com. Like, subscribe, follow. Guys, we're going to continue to plug these out. Until then, let's be legends.